Hello everyone, I am Natasha Johnson. I am the English 2, English 4, and Remedial English teacher at White Castle High School in Iberville Parish. The two issues in education that I am extremely passionate about are closing the literacy gap and connecting students with local career opportunities. I believe that literacy is an important aspect in developing a promising future. I have tutored individuals while working towards receiving their GED. Every individual under my instruction passed that exam. I've also aided engineers, architects, accountants in organizing their writing within their workplace. Those persons took the strategies implemented and they still use them in the workplace today. Secondly, I am passionate about helping students and members of the community make connections with lead persons from various industries within our area. I continue to work in the community with church groups to organize and have leaders from varying industries and career paths come in and share with students their ideas about what it's like to work in that particular field. Students acquire the knowledge of what it's like to work in that field, as well as what is required to obtain that type of career. Since the beginning of this endeavor in 2011, there have been over 100 students to attend college, and 41 of those students graduated in the field that they initially selected. Louisiana is an agricultural state, so currently I am working to organize a career fair with Southern University's Ag Department for my seniors in early February. The impact of this work has been very rewarding. As an educator who strongly believes that every person has the ability to learn, it gives my heart great joy to see the students in my community, the community where I was born and raised, become a success. In the video of my lesson, you will experience a 10th grade lesson from the Learn Zillion unit, Things Fall Apart. This lesson is the culminating writing task that is designed to measure students' understanding of the text. The objective is for students to compose a well-organized literary analysis that depicts the development of the theme as a result of the interactions between the main character and a secondary character of their choosing. Prior to this lesson, students work to develop their thesis statement and locate evidence to support their responses. In addition, multiple students in this class receive accommodations. Those students will be placed in a small group to work closely with me. These students will have access to a card that contains the steps of the race strategy. It is important to note that the students under my instruction are significantly below grade level. It is also important to understand that much of what is done in class is done in Google Classroom. Therefore, you will observe students accessing supporting materials online, as well as uploading their final drafts to that platform. Writing task, final draft. Make sure that you're logged into joinpd.com. If at any time you get kicked out, the code is in the upper left-hand corner of the board. Please go ahead at this time and log into Google Classroom. You have a bell ringer activity there. What theme will you discuss in your writing today that briefly tells me how this theme was developed? What theme are you going to talk about in your writing today? And I want you to tell me briefly how the author developed this theme. I should be able to see this in your bell ringer activity as well as in your writing. I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes to complete this. All right, Aquindus, if you don't mind, you've done such a fine job. I want you to share with us what theme you're gonna be discussing in your writing and tell me how that theme is developed. How to become your own person or becoming your own is his theme. And it's developed because the author has those main characters to interact in order to teach us that becoming our own is okay. Sometimes it is necessary. Is there anyone else who would like to share out? What's your theme again?
How things escalate different.
Okay, escalating differences. All right, and we see that in the text, correct? Okay. Thank you for that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our standards and objectives for today. Today, we have to write to support our claim or our response. Let's take a look at the objectives, and you should see them on your screen. We're going to read them out loud. The very first objective, everybody, together, read. I will compose the final draft of the culminating writing task. Second one, read. In my writing, I will
identify the theme of this text and I will explain how the author developed this theme.
Very good. Thank you for that. So the materials that you're going to need is your laptop, your culminating writing task 2, the paper version, and scratch paper if you choose to. Let's look at the agenda. What's our need for today? Give me the need, Javen. What do we need to do today? First one.
Compose the final draft of the
We need to compose the final draft of that culminating writing task. That's our need for today. We have several steps in order to get us there. I'm going to take you through the rubric to show you how I'm going to grade you. We've seen this rubric before, so we're going to briefly take a look at it. I'm also going to refer to the writer's outline. I just simply want to remind you of how your writing needs to be organized. And of course, you know that, I have some final draft expectations for you. I'm going to tell you what font you can use, what size font to use to make this look professional. Together, we're going to look at that writer's outline, and we're going to look at some examples of what the intro should look like, what the body paragraph should look like with those parenthetical citations, and we're going to take a look at what a concluding paragraph also looks like. On your own, you're going to compose your final draft. It is timed, okay? You have your rough drafts to take a look at. You have other resources online that you are welcome to use. And of course, if you have any questions, ask me. And then of course, your exit ticket out of class is going to be the final draft submitted in Google Classroom. Your success criteria. In order for you to be successful, what's the first thing that I need to do?
Introduction, shows and presentation, the thesis statement.
I need to make sure that my intro has a hook and it has a substantial thesis. You have your success criteria checklist in front of you. So let's go ahead and write this down. You do not have to write it word for word. I want you to make it make sense for you. And remember, as we accomplish each one of these tasks, we're going to check off. The second thing that I need to do is what, Jariah?
The body paragraphs reflect substantial organization.
Body paragraphs gotta be organized. Gotta be organized. What's the third thing that I need to do, Ahmad?
The conclusion incorporates the restatement of the thesis in an alternate way, optional person, reflection, and a clincher sentence.
So I got my conclusion. In my conclusion, I need a clincher. I need to restate that thesis, and if I choose to insert some of my personal opinions and it fits right there, then I can do that as well. And what's the last thing that we need to do? The last thing I need to do, Kobe.
The final draft?
The final draft has to be what? Free.
Free of grammar.
Free of grammatical and structural errors. Very good. So we gotta have a clean professional final draft today. I'm gonna leave this up for a second. Go ahead and make your list so that when you accomplish these tasks, you can check off. Now what I want you to do is write your theme here so that we can reference it or go back to it. You write it. All right, let me take a look at yours. Put a space. Hit enter. After the 6, I put it there. After period 6. After period 6. Go into the heading. And after period 6, hit enter. Now, go to your heading right here. Put your cursor in behind the 6. Right there. Hit enter. You want a separation there, okay? So now you have your hook. Okay. Now it's time to put your pieces. You have written your pieces in there. Okay, let's take a look here. All right, so you have your theme. Now what we're gonna do is you're gonna start off your introduction. What are you gonna start off your introduction with?
Quote.
You want a quote, okay? So let me see what quote you're gonna choose. And I am looking at your punctuation. Should you have a colon here? Or should I say he stated? And then a comma. Why did you delete his name? You need his name there.
I know, but I had spelled it.
Yeah, you did.
I don't really know.
Okay. Now a good rule of thumb. All right, try again. Stop again. Here you have the outline for your body paragraph, okay? Go ahead and take a look at what you've written. All right, so I want to make sure that you have your topic sentence. Remember, the topic sentence, then the supporting detail, then the explanation. Our strategy is using race, okay? When we use race, what does the R stand for?
Restate the question.
Restate the question. The A, what does it stand for?
Answer the question.
Then we're gonna do what?
Cite evidence.
And then after that,
Explain how the evidence supports the answer.
explain how your evidence supports the answer. So for the topic sentence, that's gonna be my restating and my answering. What about my supporting detail? What is that?
Cite evidence.
My C, citing evidence. And then my explanation
Explain how the
is gonna
evidence
be,
supports the answer.
yes, E, R-A-C-E. Now, take a look at this. I wrote this. Here's my topic sentence. Loretta and Okonkwo's interactions developed the theme of money can't buy happiness by losing everything they have worked for. I am restating and answering this question. I want you to take a look at your work and make sure that your very first sentence restates and answers this question. So take a look at what you wrote, and then I want you to look at what I wrote and compare the two. The lesson objectives were met. After analyzing the organization of the culminating writing task final draft submission, students did compose a solid final draft. They also identified the theme and explained how the author developed this theme using the main character and the secondary character that they chose. If I could do this lesson again, I would provide less time to compose the final draft and spend more time on the development of the introduction and those body paragraphs. This would impact the scores greatly. After this lesson, I plan to adjust my instruction to allow more time for the development piece, more time to develop those paragraphs in conjunction with the writer's outline and using that race writing strategy. In addition to differentiate instruction, I would ensure that I use more visuals to help those students who struggle understand what is required. It is important to know that students develop their thesis, their theme, found evidence, and compose the rough drafts in a prior lesson. Students were asked to take those rough drafts home and have them edited by a family member. Much of what had been done prior to this needed to be edited again. Thank you.